Hi there, I am Keith. I am a 57-year-old raw vegan artist, electronic musician. I'm a spirit in human form, and here's a video, an upload coming for you. That's one that I probably could have easily done a long time ago, although it's a better time now because I have a lot more understanding of this. So usually I think of the titles before I do the videos. So this is called Soulmate / Harmony, and this one's going to be pretty spiritual, pretty philosophical. We're going to touch on some health food stuff as well, because and this video is related to the super pink moon, which is the moon in April. It's a full moon in Libra. Tomorrow night, maybe, I don't really know what it is other places. Always good idea to look. If you're a witch, and I do witchcrafty manifestation things. That's like waxing things as the moon is coming to its fullness. When I say waxing things, of acquiring things, meaning like to add, not necessarily acquire like greed, like money, and subtracting things during the waning moon, which is removal. So during this period here, this March, April, May, it's a time of massive transition. And I don't really think anybody that's a spiritual oriented, astrology oriented, big picture spirit, did I say that? Oriented person can think that things are going to go back the way they were. So they're not. This is not off topic. This is like a soulmate thing. So I've pulled a few cards also to go with this. And some of the things were exactly things that I were thinking about, and this video really needs to be done. You know, some of my videos only 45 people watch. Sometimes, in the case of like the first one I did on the coronavirus, that's last time I looked, it was up to 221. I don't really care. I don't really do anything for hits, for popularity. I do things that are to help people, you know, and to express myself, which I like to do, to teach. Because I love where I'm at, and that has to do with the soulmate thing. I love the harmony that I found in myself. So this full moon is going to be about a soulmate situation. And so this is a great topic for me. And so I'm going to tell you some of the cards that I found. So this one is Divine Order from Archangel Raguel. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see the underlying order. And if you look at it, there's a scales there, and I was like kind of thinking that the Justice card was going to be important, and because I was thinking about this video all day today, and I do feel like that, like everything is in place. I've been doing a lot of superfoods lately, for months actually. I go to grocery outlet, and things are so cheap there, and they're such good quality. So I was thinking I wanted to get the Lover's card out, because that's the card that's kind of tricky. And the Magician card, I was like, watch these cards be like right in my first pick. And I wasn't thinking of the Magician card, but it came first, and then the Lover's card was right under there. So you see this these two people coming together, and this sort of one entity looking over, and in some older decks, I've talked about this card before, I know. So what I want to say is that I'm a little bit of an expert with this scene, this card, because I spent most of my life from age 22 in back-to-back relationships, with twin flames. And I shall link the video that Matt Kahn did that's about twin flames versus soulmate, because a lot of people use those words interchangeably. And so however you want to look at that, there's two kinds of connections that you can make with people. And there's like what Matt Kahn defines as a twin flame, and I agree with his definition, is you come into people that change you, that are more going to antagonize you into change. Whereas a soulmate is somebody that's like a round peg in a round hole. And so, all of that being said, so what I want to talk about is after I've been divorced now for like 10 years from somebody that I thought was the love of my life. And I've been solo the entire 10 years. Not to say that I kind of didn't want to get right back into a relationship. I had, a few relationships, including a couple with some girls, which is very unusual for me. Not the first time. They don't really work out for me. It's not, they just don't work out for me because I'm kind of too free. Anyway, so the other card that came up that I thought was important is the Magician. And this is about a person who is well-rounded. And so this is what's leading into what I want to say as a soulmate, is this Lover's card in 2015 when I was really working on myself. I kept thinking that I was going to attract a partner when I realized that what I was doing was this sort of alchemy, which is the development of myself, of like turning, my life into gold, of like finding all of this stuff and becoming more harmonious. There's that word harmony again. And that's what this time is about. Or it's not necessarily what this time is about. Let's just say that the potential for really finding that is now, and of really finding your own place in all of this as everything is kind of stripped back. And I would like to think that if you've been watching my channel, you're curious, there is 40 to 90 of you that I have 1.36 K subscribers, and there's about 100-ish of you that watch me all the time. And this time is super, just like what's happened with the coronavirus. Humans have been a virus on the planet of being ruthless with everything. And they've been a virus on themselves as well, of not understanding that we are something bigger. You've really got to be completely removed from yourself, from self-awareness, to not really get that we're something else, we're something bigger. And you really get this when I don't want to be an advocate for always hermeticism. Hermeticism is also Mercury, Thoth, but it's going in deep. It's looking at yourself, and you achieve these because when you're around people all the time, you don't think so deep. So this is about, it's cosmic synchronicity of going out in nature and really plugging into Gaia, the earth thing of meditation, of being quiet with yourself. And a lot of people get it when they do maybe psychedelic drugs or smoke pot, or that is if you're kind of questioning of where those sensations come from, or those visions, or whatever happens when you're there. What can be really amazing is when you're doing a little bit of both. And I'm at a point now where I'm just completely not doing any of that. And I can insert at this time that I'm obviously uploading a lot more because people are at home and stuff. And there's going to be some entertaining, fun things coming up of where I'm going to sort of talk about the history of my life. And that's important here in this video as well, because a lot of things that I have done have led me where I am, and not having regret about it. And this is something that I was sharing with a friend today. So I've been a little bit with a person that I consider a soulmate. I've been getting into Friedrich Nietzsche. And so Friedrich Nietzsche has a thing that's in his book, which I think came out after Thus Spoke Zarathustra, called The Gay Sciences, The Gay Science, or renamed The Joyous Science. And there's a thing in there called Amor Fiat, F-A-I-T, which I think is love of fate, and that's love of every aspect of your life, of where you don't have regrets about anything. I hear a lot of people often go, oh, if only that happened, or if only this happened, or if only I had been more like this with that person, we would wind up being lovers. And you know, a big peace comes, a big love of yourself, and really that's like soulmate things are going to happen. So you don't want to be, you're not going to attract like your ultimate potential and like until you fall in love with yourself. And it's a completeness, because then you're going to attract somebody completely different than when you're broken, and you're attracting somebody to like fill and remedy and maybe numb that brokenness. So I didn't lose my train of thought. You thought I did, didn't you? Amor F-A-I-T. I forget how to say it, but it is again this concept with Friedrich Nietzsche of that you just live. You just live. We signed up for this, like being in this time. We are, I have another little analogy of this thing. This has got to bring peace to you, of like, who cares what's going on? We signed up to be here because this is a couple frames, a couple film frames in this big movie that's your soul life, you know, because there's like what, 32 frames per second, I think that's video. I think maybe film is more. But, you know, maybe like our life is like 10 frames compared to that like momentous, like big film that's all these frames that make up who we are. And so we decided to be here. There's multiple versions, multiple dimensions going on of all kinds of possibilities of this reality. And so we just, there's a great peace that comes with like accepting everything about yourself, you know, no regrets. And so as I'm going to go over some of these things, like maybe in my next videos, I feel like I should just get on with it so some people can love some stuff of like where I've been. Like I'm going to talk, I think right away about my relationship with marijuana. I fucking love that, man. Like, I wasted a lot of money, not wasted, I spent a lot of money on marijuana, especially in my 30s and 40s for like maybe 20 years. Yeah, probably 20 years, a lot of money. And I could have regret about that, but there was a lot of things that it shaped about me and helped me get where I'm. I just got a flash of blue light when I talked about that. I kind of see things like spirits and stuff, and they're usually blue orbs. And when I talked about loving, just what I said there about that wasn't a waste of money. I saw a flash, yeah. And so it's shaped a lot of things about me. Like a lot of people would be like, oh, like imagine all the things that you could have had with. I mean, I literally, like in the times when I was with Jason, there was times when I don't want to rant on about this, but like it's just a good example of how you should love everything that you've done, and then at some point you're going to refine yourself. But Jason and I couldn't hold on to 1/8 of an ounce of marijuana for 36 hours. So it's pretty amazing. good or bad, amazing, depending on your point of view about that, or who cares? I don't care. Yeah, so the other card that was just in the lineup of cards that I got was what is it? Yeah, it's the Six of Cups. Sixes are always about love. And it's this childlike presence. And that's how you're going to always win, is to be childlike, is to be in love with everything, to be in love with yourself. Not in a childish way, in a childlike way. So I'm at 15 minutes here, and I wanted to talk a little bit about health food as well, and just, self-love is about, like, just meditating, finding. I was always about meditation now. Everything, like, if I would have found meditation, I could have gotten a lot further along than where I am right now. Like, fuck that. I'm glad I didn't get further along, because I would still be chasing this, like, thousands of dollars on health food when it took me to the point of where I am to just learn that meditation is the whole deal, and I can just do a few little things, some Western herbs, take a little reishi. I'm basically what they call a level 2 breatharian right now. Like, I don't really buy food. Like, I bought some food, I'm keeping it in the refrigerator, a couple heads of cauliflower, some celery stalks, some lemons that Ryan and I foraged, some avocados, and I've just been eating these one soup a day, like 3/4 of the Vitamix. Not every day, and I'm fasting on Saturday. But the point is I fell in love with myself enough. I connected with myself enough to meet other people who inspired me enough to really find who I am. And so it's maybe going to happen some more in terms of the development of this soulmate within myself. And I am the kind of person that likes to be with somebody. So, but I don't care. I don't need that. I'm not needy about that. I'm not craving that. It could happen, but it's going to be a way different person. So I was kind of feeling like, let's do something different. Like, so if I have you captive to this point, if you haven't switched me off, I think I'm making more sense in this than I do in some of mine. I want to do some metta bhavana, metta, which is like sending out love. So let's take a deep breath. And just take yourself inside yourself, into your heart. Breathe through your heart. And send love and light out from your heart, from your body, from your aura, to the whole world, to all the people that are troubled right now of not being spiritual people. And just, we don't care, no discernment, just complete compassion for every being. Because we got to love everybody. So send out love. We will make it through this. Keep emitting love. And when you feel a little bit like you're getting off your rocker, from this moment on, catch yourself. When you're not in equanimity, take some deep breaths. Do a body scan. Vipassana is body scanning. Take 40 seconds and just run your awareness down your whole body, down to your toes and back up. Don't allow yourself to get off balance. Don't allow yourself to go there. Everything, as this one card said, So let's kind of bring it back. Divine order. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see the underlying order. The underlying order is that we live in this magic cosmos, and this Mother Earth is more powerful than the collective humans think. A lot of us, if you're on my channel, you probably have a lot of respect for Mother Earth, for those forces of nature, but the collectiveness doesn't. And it's really out of control, and that's the love you want to send to that. Okay? So, it seems weird to do a commercial for my music after doing a metta meditation. Metta is love and kindness. And, but there's no commercials, and my music is full of magic, so you could support me by supporting my music. Do me a favor, go over to, like, get the Bandcamp app and at least follow me on there so that, like, people will, like, oh, this isn't just some one-off guy. My stuff is really good. I'm getting back involved. I just purchased a bunch of vintage synthesizers I've been really excited about. And getting into all that. So support me by supporting my music. Links in the drop down to my Bandcamp page, and there's also a link to the Matt Kahn video about the difference between twin flame and soulmate. And first, you got to be a soulmate with yourself. You've got to be a soulmate with your higher self. You've got to bring that future you into yourself, and that is the Christ consciousness. The second coming of Christ, of that waking up inside of us. Yep. All right, it's Keith. Bright blessings. Namaste. Infinite metta. Peace out. Later. Bye.